The Mad Dog's House of Pain, the only nationally licensed pro wrestling school in the state of Alabama. Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, trained by the Junkyard Dog, will be your trainer. You want to be a professional wrestling superstar? Learn from GCW's own Mad Dog's House of Pain. With over 22 years experience, learn from the Mad Dog's House of Pain. 205-567-6482. Start your career today. Call 205-567-6482.
How about Bill?
Greetings, good evening. How you doing? Live from the multiple location station that everybody knows and loves, welcome to Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and ProWrestlingRadio.net. Live from Studio One, yours truly, part of the GCW commentary team, the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Lane, being joined live from the House of Pain, the man himself, the Mad Dog Dan Sawyer.
You know, when you go to the beach, you start finding sand everywhere. Even stuff you didn't take to the beach, you start finding sand. I think it's like gremlins, it multiplies.
And you get it wet, and it doesn't go anywhere fast either. And live...
Never a good combination.
Nope, it's not. And live from Bohemian Grove, like to welcome in the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
I appreciate you guys inviting me on tonight. Wait a minute, I invited myself on. Never mind.
And
Scratch that.
No, you've been invited. You've not been accepting our invitation as of late, the last few months. You've been busy.
And considering you're part of the GCW radio team and broadcast team, do we need to send a formal invitation?
No, the only one we have to do for a personal invite is when we ask O'Hagan, because he kind of like takes over.
Yeah, that has been known.
He thinks he's the NW we're taking over. But you notice he never has any of his any other part of the Three Stooges with him.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Well, if O'Malley spoke, he'd be like, "Oh, there's like power robots, and I got ugly boots." That's wicked.
You took the
himself.
Say it again, Wick. I talked over you. Say it again.
The charisma vacuum himself, O'Malley.
Why now? I lost you on this end.
The charisma vacuum.
Oh, okay.
Just getting ready for Saturday.
That's right. I wanted to cut a promo last time when him and McGregor came out. I was like, did you guys forget part of your costume? Coming out with no singlet up top?
Yeah, that is a touchy subject. You know how it is with guys that aren't good at cardio. They want to show off that chest.
That is why you never.
But don't you? But I mean, it's not one of those things. If you forgot it, it's one thing. But you know, there is such thing. If you don't have time to tan, they have these things called tanning beds.
Okay, wait a second. I'm going to stop you right there because, folks, if you walk outside without a shirt on for 5 minutes in central Alabama or even all around the southeast for the most part, you're going to get a tan. You might also get asthma from the humidity in the air, but you're going to get a tan at 89, 90, 95, 102 degrees over the last week or so around here. No, so if they even go outside without SPF 1 on, they're going to get a tan. They just don't go outside.
I wear 50, and I know Wicked will be talking about I'm redder than a tomato.
Well, we know you are. Dan,
yeah, you know, I get a little hot under the collar.
Yeah, Dan walks outside, Dan gets a tan. Dan has that permatan. But, you know, we all be lightning.
Why you always lying?
Foul. God help us all. Thank you to everybody listening in this evening through the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, ProWrestlingRadio.net. Ustream is down. I don't know. They're still having Sybil fits over there. But, of course, tune in and all the different, especially all the new affiliates we have up and down the network. Greatly appreciated. Chat room is open, beyondringside.com. So if you're listening on the live version, which is 8:16 p.m. Central Daylight Time, drop on through. Chat room's open. Love to find out what's on your brain. We got a full lineup set and ready to go. As promised, the updated lineup for Red, White, and Bruised 2016, which is slated for this Saturday night, July the 30th in Pell City, Alabama. Bell time 7:30. Doors open at 7. Tickets are only $10 each. And I think Wick's probably going to go through the roof because, Dog, I think the front office ended up lining up like 9 matches again.
He got listed, so it's not going to be a total burial because, he doesn't want me to promote other things, other than, what's going on. But there's always a complaint department when guys aren't on the poster. And listen up, you bitches. Just because you're picturing on there don't mean you're not supposed to share it. I don't give a damn if you like it or not. That does nothing for the business. So, the only guy that can get madder than me is on the other side of this network right over there. And he'll tell you, he shares it. His lady shares it. Hell, his kids probably even share it. I mean, if he had more extensions, he would be stronger than AT&T. I mean, I'm telling you, there are 16 guys out of 100 who shared this thing, and it's being duly noted. There's a lot of guys in the office that pay attention to this, besides myself.
And from that vantage point, I'll jump in and say this. When there is a version of the poster created by the marketing and new media department that is completely and perfectly formatted for your Facebook profile, not to mention Instagram, and it doesn't get shared or put up, trust me, new media and the marketing...
That's called instant heat, is what that is when you don't share it. Instant heat.
Because I know for a fact new media tags just about everybody that the word has been passed around that they're going to be on the card. If somebody's missed, it's because they didn't get the memo.
Well, the only guy that's not tagged is Mudbone, because can you tag the San Monique Mystic? I don't know.
No, I don't even think he has Snapchat. Of course, you can do some miraculous... By the way, before we get started, for everybody listening live, speaking of social media, especially Snapchat, I kind of broke this last week, but I'm going to give you the full rundown on this one. If you are at the Pell City Civic Center this Saturday night, Global Championship Wrestling is making a move in a new direction. If you have Snapchat on your smartphone, BlackBerry, Android, iPhone, whatever. If you bring your tablet and you have Snapchat and it's internet accessible. God, I sounded like Jerry Briscoe. Mr. McMahon? Okay. And
easy now, I work with his son.
I know. Hi, Wes. What's up?
He'll take that out on me somehow or another.
Hey, I've interviewed Jerry. He's tremendously cool with it. It's like, I know how I sound. Everybody loves it too. We're going to leave it alone. But, if you do take pictures, selfies, whatever, this Saturday night at the Pell City Civic Center and you put it on Snapchat, Global Championship Wrestling will have their own customized geofilter to be used that you're more than welcome to use, and we hope you do, this Saturday night. It's specifically for...
Please don't tell O'Hagan this. We could get some pictures that will get us shut down by the FCC.
Yeah, that's true. Him and his
We need to have those filters that switches out people's talent.
Snap!
I got some folks that need it.
I got two phones.
And remember, talent is still not sexually transmitted. Thank you, AJ Lee, for the line of the millennium. No, but seriously, putting a quick wrap on that one. Once again, this Saturday night in Pell City, Snapchat, Global Championship Wrestling has a special red, white, and bruised geo filter. We love it if you use it. If you do, greatly appreciated. We're trying, like I said, we're trying new media and going in different directions. I got the finalization on that one Monday night, actually Sunday night. So we're actually clear to roll on that. It will be available if you have, if you use Snapchat. Scroll through, you'll find the geo filter. It is exclusively for the Pell City Civic Center this Saturday night. So figured I'd spring that one on you.
Oh, it sounds great.
Mad Dog and Wick didn't know. New media decided to lock a surprise in on this time. And if this one goes well, we're actually going to start doing different ones for each show, multiple geofilters. Working on experiments with Snapchat and Periscope. That'll be coming out probably in the month of August. Now, Dog, you're not on Snapchat, are you?
Hell no. I'm barely on Facebook.
I'm barely
on road trips. O'Hagan, when I was part of the Brotherhood, he would say he's like the caveman on Geico. Don't let him touch your tablet. Then I got one for Christmas. He's like, what? Do you know how to cut it on? I have people that do that.
Yeah. There you go.
People helping people. Let's talk some damn wrestling.
That's a good idea. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and go straight into it. You brought him up, and you've mentioned him twice. Therefore, I know it's going to be Beetlejuice if you say his name a third time, or Candyman, depending on which movie you're high on. But this coming Saturday night, 6-man tag team action as the Brotherhood that we know of in its entirety, O'Hagan, O'Malley, and J.P. McGregor. Whether or not how deep that rabbit hole runs, we still don't know. We'll be going head up against Leon the Bull Stresser, my tag team partner on this show, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and he went ahead and let the cat out of the bag last week. Wheel of Fortune joke. The real deal AJ Steele making his return to Pell City, Alabama this coming Saturday night as part of that big 6-man tag team match. Dan, it's on you.
It's going to be on the Brotherhood. That's what's going to be happening, and or the Sisterhood, as I like to call them, and the great fans of PC, Pell City, the city of Pell, as Wick has been known to say in the past. Global Championship Wrestling. They're getting ready to see a battle. I mean, how many times do we have to beat these guys, huh? You know, how many times? I'm just asking.
Wick?
You know, I know this is a variety as a man. It's different. But ever since we took these guys' belts as the tag team champions, they've not been able to beat us. So please let this be it. I'm just begging. Not that I don't want to fight them. But it's beating a dead horse, in my opinion. So, Bullet, if you're listening, please, if we beat these guys in a 6-man, can we please just bury the hatchet and not leave the handle sticking out? There you go, a little Garth for you. I figured you'd like that.
Pop.
But, please, just let us move on. I'll wrestle the monkeys. I'll wrestle whoever. But please let us move on. I'm tired of seeing these guys. They're trying to be like the NWO, add a new guy here, add a new guy there. You know, J.P. McGregor's the only one with hair because, you know, I've got a little hair, not a whole lot, but I'm the only one that's got hair in my team. But we called on the Tank, the Juggernaut, the 6, you know, AJ Steele was ready. You know, and the great thing about having AJ ringside, you know, we happen to know a really good manager that manages AJ Steele, and he's the man that kind of saved their ass in that cage match. Will be at ringside unless I'm incorrect about this with the Wicked Nemesis. Is that correct, sir? I mean, are you willing to come to the ring with us? I mean, are we viable enough a team?
Well, you guys know AJ Steele's anywhere around GCW, I'm going to be in his corner.
Okay.
But this question, though, with everything going on, the tag team titles not being at stake.
Or the middleweight.
Sir?
Or the middleweight title.
Well, this has become a blood feud. Like, I know Leon bled a ton in Pell City, but this has got personal. Each match, there's another layer added onto this, and bringing in the Juggernaut. You guys know, AJ MOD for life. We discussed this, and he asked me what I thought about him coming in. He is excited to be there, and especially get his hands on Joshua O'Hagan. We all know his for O'Hagan.
Now I gotta say this. Now there's history being made this Saturday, and I really didn't even think about it until I was coming back from the beach the other day. You know, I've been against AJ with him as a good guy, me as a bad guy, blah blah blah. We've fought all over for whatever that comes, UIW over there in Georgia. We did all that, and we worked on Carrollton. We've been on everywhere around. I've seen him at Peach State, but we've never ever tagged. And then being a part of the 6-man tag, there's a lot of power on this side of the ring. Not taking anything away from my partner Bull, but we got some strength, as a wise old man used to say. We got some strength over here on this side of the ring. And I know there's some good wrestlers over there. The brothers, they've had their day, and they've had some belts, and, O'Hagan and J.P. McGregor, they've both been heavyweight champions before. They've been tag team champions before. And then you got O'Malley. He's just been a tag team champion. So could he do anything on his own? The jury's out. Kind of like... Actually, it's kind of like the jury with OJ. They came back in pretty quick on that. So what I'm saying is, if we can cut that ring off in the half, right across the middle, and we're gonna do some little dissecting, kind of like a frog in biology. We just may cut the ring in half and wrestle like some heels. Why not, right?
Right.
Yeah. A lot of former world champions in that ring as well during that match.
Yeah. I mean, I know Bull has had the tag match, but see, here's the difference. Bull has been world champion and GCW tag team champion at the same time. Something that team can't say. They can't say that. But a lot of gold on the line, 6-man tag. But hey, what about this ladies' match? Everybody was thinking that Veronica was in her wheelchair and it was a big gimmick. No, she really doesn't hurt herself. So, we had Brooklyn Page step in and wrestle Malaya last time, and she says, "Hey, I want you. Who you got?" And, we had that formation of makeup and muscles earlier in the year with Veronica and Stormy Lee. So you got Stormy Lee stepping up to take on Malaya with Veronica on the outside, hopping around. I don't know. I mean, if I could send a message to Malaya, because I'm sure she's flying somewhere tonight, to stomp that foot. If you get a chance to get on the outside, if there's a little chase or something, just stomp that foot of Veronica, and then that'll take care of that. It's kind of like Decon and the roaches. They crawl in, and they won't crawl out. Saw too much TV this week, guys. I saw some old retro commercials, so sorry, I'm having a moment. But what a great match that'll be. And Dylan Cook's taking on Joey Lightning. Lightning's got some new regiment stuff, so I think that'll be a pretty good match. Of course, I always love it how Dylan's aunt and friends always say, "Why ain't Dylan on the poster?" And, I sent her a private message. He needs to do his new pictures or whatever. Of course, Eric Wayne, the GCW champion, and Francisco Chiazzo decide that they're going to berate what is a Dylan Cook. And then he has flashbacks of Global Warfare last year. He goes, that's the kid I knocked out with my knee. I didn't know he was still wrestling, Frankie. So let's talk about Frankie, Francisco Chiazzo, the Bonnie and Clyde professional wrestling, the king of the Southeast. Hashtag. If we had any more hashtags, we'd have to hire the Arsenio Hall guy to introduce him.
I thought that was Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, I don't know. Hell, I'm just throwing another retro 90s statement out there for you guys.
There you go.
Francisco, grudge match of the year. This is a grudge match of the year. He tried to kill Clyde Braddock pretty much. I know we shouldn't say that, but this is wrestling. I'm not worrying about being PC. You know, someone said something to me, do you like the direction WWE's gone? I said, no, because they're too big a piece. So to allow them to call themselves the Bullet Club, talking about Anderson and Gallows, and do the fingers with AJ Styles and call themselves the Bullet Club, but then they're going to let Finn Balor come out, and he's got bullets all around, 223 bullets, AR-15 all around his name, and the Balor Club. But just to have a flashback, remember when Vince called God out back many years ago when he was doing a feud with Shawn Michaels? Okay, so you can go anywhere, Vince. So why you got to bring up old stuff, right? But you know, we're old school wrestling. We're not going to be calling out the Lords, but I think Francisco Chiazzo may be calling on him before the night's over, because this match is nuts. I don't know where all we're going to go with this match, but Francisco Chiazzo and Clyde Braddock with the wicked number 6 in the corner. Just get a little plug in there for him. Not that he needs to, because the man can stand on his own 2 feet and get over. Oh, by the way, you're going to be proud to stand in the corner in the 6th man, because I'm going to be wearing Damon Taz's boots that he's selling online. I just happened to send him a message. I'll take them.
Wow. That tells you everything you know Damon's done. Selling those boots.
Yeah. If it comes down to the boots, we got the best boots in the business compared to the Brotherhoods. I think they went to Fred G. Sanford's shop in Watts to get that one pair of boots that he was wearing.
Shots fired all over the place tonight. Wow. Wick, let me go ahead and bring you in real quick on the Francisco Chiazzo Clyde Braddock match. I want your thoughts.
There's personal, and then there's personal. When you try to take away a man's living, when you try to take away what he uses, his skill, his trade that feeds his family, that's dirty. There may be no honor among thieves, but when it comes to being a necessary evil, vengeance is swift, and vengeance comes upon you like a riptide. It washes over you, and then it pulls you away. And that's what's going to happen to Francisco. The violence, the very essence of brutality that's going to be at the forefront of Clyde Braddock this Saturday against Francisco Chiazzo, they have no idea. And with Stormy Lee in his corner, that's just a distraction. They can say what they want to. What's to stop me from crawling under the ring, snatching that bitch out from under the ring, and just beating the crap out of her? What's Francisco? I mean, that's what happens. Luckily, I'm a good guy at GCW, because why you always lying? That's what you do. Like, there's so many game plans to go. And Francisco, such a great worker, such a great athlete, but he's not Clyde Braddock.
Nope.
Yeah, I call Clyde a lot. He's been able to go. He's gone here. He's gone there. Clyde Braddock stayed at the forefront of GCW. No matter where he's wrestled, it's always gone back to GCW. This year, this fall will be 3 years that he was selling T-shirts. Now here he is one-on-one with Francisco Chiazzo. If you've never seen these guys wrestle, you are in for a treat. The city of Pell, Alabama, this Saturday. It's going to be more than personal. It's going to be business-like, personal, casual, with a lemon twist.
The bar is open.
Shaken, not stirred.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of shaking up going into Saturday night. Let me come back to a match that you glossed over a second ago. The Dream Chaser Dylan Cook taking on Joey Lightning. You know, you have got two individuals approaching a one-on-one collision this coming Saturday night. Lightning has been working diligently to recapture a certain form, and I know Wick's going to have a one-liner coming up, that he had a couple of years ago. Lightning's timing, ring presence, has markedly improved since his return. He had been on again, off again, on again, off again, and we've all three made it very clear. You have to be consistent in pro wrestling. That consistency factor.
It's got to be the shoes.
There you go. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
I was just thinking Nike and Bo.
I know.
The shoes.
I know. Look, you went retro. I went way back when it all began. And then you've got Dylan Cook. Dylan Cook already had a great rookie season. Avoiding the sophomore jinx, has cut down his weight, has built up his strength, has continued to stay true to form for his amateur background while incorporating great lessons that he learned and has learned along the way. He's had his ups and downs. Joey Lightning's had his ups and downs. This is going to be a pivotal battle because there's some leverage points in this particular match that can be used on down the road. And remember something. Unlike some promotions that throw matches together, every match counts in Global Championship Wrestling.
And both these cats are wanting to get the middleweight championship.
Exactly.
That they feel like this is a number one contendership match. It's not labeled as such, but Dylan Cook has never held gold in GCW. He may have held it in other places, but running a show once every 3 months ain't crap. Not to crap on anyone's promotion, but show me a promotion that's been going for 12 years every month, and I'll say, hey, Global Championship Wrestling. And hell, my cat even said it. Did you hear that?
Yes.
It's in cat language. But, Dylan really wants a chance at O'Hagan's middleweight championship, and he was a contender like none other with Charles Anders the other night. Last month, what a match that was. I mean, that even made, the blind man say, hey, that was solid. And, they took a lot of chances. They did some diving. And, but it don't matter what you dive and do. It's what you do. If you can dodge your wrench, you can dodge a ball. It's all about being in the middle and making that 1, 2, 3 pin. So that's what has to happen. And, Charles Anders, what a great guy. The first time I ever met him, I was like, he looked like Sunshine from Remember the Titans. And I'll still throw that shot at him. And I think he knows that if I give you hell, it means I like you. If I have nothing to say to you, you ask me how your match was, didn't see it. But if I put you over by giving you a nickname or whatever, or the way he embraced the deal, like Zoolander, and rode out on the
scooter,
scooter thing. The kid's got charisma. He's a good-looking guy. Got a lot of talent. Is trying to get out of a pigeonhole and trying to get to work all over the country. And he's taking on a guy, Dark Fury, who wrestles a lot in Mississippi. He's a Latino guy, does lucha libre. He's not like on some shows where they throw a mask on a guy. It's not like that. This guy just won the Ego Championship a couple of weeks ago over in Mississippi. I worked for that company a few times. But Dark Fury taking on Charles Anderson. Going to see how the people accept him. I mean, even though his name is Dark Fury, he's a fan favorite. But these guys are coming. And that middleweight division, O'Hagan said something a few months ago on TV. It was on YouTube that said, hey, I had this contract and nobody would step up and sign it. Joey Lightning confronted him a few days ago. I was like, hey, where was that contract that was open to the middleweight thing? Because I don't remember seeing that, and I'm like, all right, boys, don't make me be arbitration. Let's see what happens. And, after Saturday nights, maybe Bullet will look at it. Maybe the people that make decisions will look at it, and we'll see. We'll see how big this middleweight division is. So, there's a lot of, volatile matches that are happening with Cook, wrestling Lightning, with Xander wrestling Dark Fury. A guy no one's ever seen over here. You may have seen him online. But let's talk about some big boys, some big men's. Talking about Michael Steele wrestling Logan Creed. Now, Logan Creed is 6'9", and you saw him last month, and what an amazing presence he made. But he is a strong guy. He has really gotten in better shape from even when we saw him last. And his valet, Brooklyn Page, we saw her wrestling in the ring, but, you know, a lot of guys really, a lot of fans really lacking the presence of Brooklyn Page, saying she looked like Lauren Cohen from Walking Dead. Golly, what's her name? What's her character's name, Wick? Do you watch Walking Dead?
Maggie,
yeah. You know, I'm like, I never thought about it, but there is a little bit of influence there. So all you Walking Dead fans, you know, the show doesn't come back on to October 23rd as far as the new one season. But, you know, Brooklyn Page does look a little bit like her, but don't get Logan Creed pissed off in the process. Michael Steele's a big boy. Hey, it's, you know, going to be some big ones getting it on right there in the ring. Make sure the turnbuckles are reinforced and ready to go. And we will have a state fair incident where the top rope snapped at one time.
I have to peel back the curtain a little bit. I'm on my tablet right now doing the show, and I'm looking at 2 Facebook messages. One from Michael Steele, one from Logan Creed. The Extinction Level event, Logan Creed, and the Kryptonite Killer, Michael Steele. Both of these guys are excited for this match. Similar wrestling talent. Both of them use power. Both of them can go for big men, as they say. Very athletically trained. Both of them very into weightlifting. Watching their calories, watching what they eat. Michael Steele, coming back from GCW, has been on quite the tear. Besides his match against Eric Wayne, I don't think he's lost a single match since he's come back.
Nope.
Logan Creed lost to Spiral. Hell of a showing. I was ringside for that, of course. Now, Logan Creed. I'm telling you right now, is not going to be 100%. I watched Trevor Eon suplex Logan Creed out of his boots.
Say what?
What? I actually saw the video that somebody sent that to me on Messenger. I was like, what do you do, get him drunk?
I'm telling you, Logan's not 100%. It would, Dan, you know this. Eddie, you know this. Everybody that listens to the show knows this. Doom is like family to me. Ovis took it to Logan Creed, and that's what Michael Steele has to do. He has to take the best right hand in the business. The man throws amazing punches, and he has to put it right between Logan Creed's eyes and knock that man out. Because that's what you have to do. You have to chop him down and knock him out. Because if there's even an ounce, a sliver of any inkling of his bearings and his surroundings where he is, Logan Creed will take you out. He's the Extinction Level event. Logan Creed for a reason.
And I have to throw this one out there. You brought him up, so I'm going to run with this for a second. I could have sworn that Trevor Eon had been calling himself the violence artist. Lo and behold, this past weekend and it was from a previous outing in a couple of weeks ago, Kyle O'Reilly on Ring of Honor television was wearing a T-shirt calling himself the violent artist. Oh, really now? Not very thrilled.
Well, that's what happens when you can't get over.
I gotta put over Trevor Eon for a second. When I was in Nashville, I was sitting there in the locker room with Michael Taylor and got a message from Trevor, and he sent a message to Micah, and he goes, "Hey, I just want you to know I just wrestled Sabu, and I was able to hang in there with him." And I was like, "Wow, that's cool." So best of luck. You know, this show isn't all about if you're not with us, you're hated, but you know, we like to see people be successful. Don't go backwards in your career. Don't go working for $5 on Friday nights. Work for what you deserve, and you know, market yourself. Get you good gear. Get some good training first. Good training. Not by a guy who gives you 25%. Hey, he was only 25% trained, and then you become a fraction of that. So please get some good training. I mean, hey, I'm not just, if you live in Alabama, Mad Dog's House of Pain, way to go. If you're in Georgia, go to Robert Gibson's place or go to Curtis Hughes' place, you know. Both these guys have pedigree all the way around.
Yep.
But get some, you know, if you're in Tennessee, go to Ricky Morton's place. I'm all about people getting good with good people. But you're not going to get booked anywhere if you don't try to improve. Doctors do continuing education. There's a purpose for that. Same thing with wrestling. We're not going to teach you anything any different than you learn, but there's little steps that get left out. It's like if you enjoy grandma's dressing every year at Thanksgiving and the recipe's not written down after she passes away and you just try to wing it, it's going to suck, and it's an embarrassment. So learn to work. Learn to work. Learn to work. Thank you.
Wick,
Learn to work.
Wick, fire away.
I don't know if I can follow that. I mean, speaking of the Shooters Gallery and the Bullet Club, I think we got them on here. Some people don't. They don't have direction. They do not know where to go to get good training. They go out and they're half trained and then they leave. But guess what? Why you always lying? We all know. We know who. When you can tell someone and how they're trained by how they go to the ring. I mean, let's get real. How they show up, how they show up.
Then when they lock up.
Oh God! Yeah.
Then you really know. And as Ricky Morton said in a seminar one time, my God, if that guy can't work, he can't lock up. I'm just gonna set my ass on his turnbuckle. You'll know that he can't work, and we'll just look at each other. I'll tag in Robert.
And then school will be in session.
Yep.
You know, it really tickles.
Put me in the headlock, kid. I'm trying.
Therein lies the funny part, because everybody in any given circumstance can always learn something new. You can learn a smarter way to do something that what you might have already been doing. There is the line that I always get in trouble for. There is no perfect formula. You may have been trained by somebody with 25 years in the business. You may have been trained by somebody with 5 years in the business. The intuitiveness of your trainer is one thing. Cultivating your own intuitiveness is an entirely different animal. And if you ever have a trainer...
But you can't go backwards.
No, you can't.
And when people think, when you say that, I mean, not to the trained ear, but to the 5-year guys in the business, they say, well, I can do this backwards.
Bull!
Because I'm making it my own.
And not stressor.
Hell no, he's not going to do anything backwards.
No.
He went a little lucha libre the other night, and he was just grabbing that right arm to go to the left. I mean, it was the one that was closest to him.
See, I had to check myself because I almost used the simile of the word you used a minute ago, but I stopped myself before I made the fecal reference. But that's just me. And because I've done it before and I'll do it again. No, but here's the trick. Every time you're in the ring with somebody, every time you go to practice, training, every time you talk to somebody, you always have an opportunity to move forward. You always want to get better. You always want to take your game to the next level, to a higher level. Closed ears and an open mouth don't do it. Open your ears, shut your mouth, and listen. Because 9 times out of 10, unless the vet's really just a jealous piece of caca, a vet will normally, a good veteran in this industry, will always have constructive advice and constructive criticism for you. Accept it.
And what happens? That's awesome. That is hitting the nail on the head. But what happens is all these young guys, they could think they got to go ask 10 guys in the locker room. And you know, no matter how talented somebody is, and they may have only been wrestling 3 to 5 years, everybody's got an opinion on something. And in a locker room, the booker and the promoter's opinion's what matters, okay? Because everybody's got an opinion. They want to sometimes belittle the new guys And it didn't happen to them breaking into this. So, you know, it's not your responsibility to cuss somebody and tell them how horrible they are. You know, there's been a recent thing going around, and I've seen this going on in different places. And, you know, I had the really pleasure of working with Tracy Smothers over the last 2 months on Arcadian, and people come to him and ask him, how was that? And he always watches every match from start to finish. He does. And he's like, come on over here. Come on over here. Mm-hmm. He doesn't ever just start yelling and doing all this stuff because he's a professional.
Thank you.
The only reason you're going to get us to start cussing you and screaming at you is when you're not listening. If you're worried about, hey, how did I do on my match? Oh, but I got to get on Instagram or Facebook and talk about how I just won my match. And, oh, I got to go see my girlfriend out here in the hallway, even though she's going home with me after the show. Focus. And, I got one coming. I'm gritting my teeth. Hard to eat corn on the cob with no teeth. There's a little Blues Brothers for you. Do not repeat. Do not set out and try to gimmick at a gimmick table or be talking to your friends and hanging out, making pictures while somebody is working in that ring.
Thank you.
That happened last month. It was taken care of. But if you listen to this program, you know, this is kind of a tutorial anytime this radio product is out there. The do's and the don'ts. Because there's a lot of dummies that don't know because the guy that broke them in didn't teach them jack crap. You know, I'm all about people making money. But here's the deal. You do it on the intermission and pre-show and go to your table afterwards. There's still going to be fans hanging around. Believe me, we have to ask them to leave every month.
Yep.
You know, don't think that $10, $12 T-shirt is worth you getting heat with the boys in the back, because there's a story that goes a little something like this, that back in the AWA days, the Road Warriors were in the ring working with the Bruiser and the Crusher, and there was a certain wrestler out there who was gimmicking at the table, and his name was Greg Gagne, because his daddy was the owner. He thought, hey, I am going to sell pictures and talk to the Rats and try to get over. Guess what the Bruiser and the Crusher and the Road Warriors did? They went brawling out in the crowd. And next thing you know, Bruiser and Crusher is throwing Hawk and Animal over into the merch area right where Greg Gagne was sitting. And Bruiser and Crusher was trying to do something, and whack, just gave a good clothesline to Greg Gagne. He was laying out on the floor, and then all of a sudden, whack, here comes Hawk and Animal, and they're stomping Greg Gagne. So I don't know how stiff that was, but
pretty darn.
You know, I'm sure it was.
Pretty darn.
Because, yeah, exactly. But when you got two old grizzled farts like the Bruise and the Crusher, who I don't know if they're still alive, I think they both passed, but they said those guys didn't like to take bumps, but they were stiffer in a crowbar if they didn't like you. So I'm just saying, learn from the past, and, you know, you'll do well in the future, and that is the soapbox for the evening. Now, before we get too far off, I know because we're on a limited time, because I know you got back to basics and all.
20 minutes.
Yep, we got Mudbone and Big K. Number 2. You know, there aren't a whole lot of people in this world that can say they went once, but to say you're going twice, and he's the one promoting this as such, and which I got to say, in the wise words of Dabney Coleman from Dragnet, you got balls to get chase bells. You know, to want to even wrestle Mudbone a second time, but to call him out and steal whatever that flask, whatever that deal is that he carries around, you know, I'm like, dude, that's like carrying the book away from Evil Dead. How dare you? I hope he's not stupid enough to crack that open and take it a swift and see if Mudbone's on the Cavassier. But, you know, this guy, he's crazy. He's wrestling Mudbone. He's promoting it. He wants to fight. He wants to do this. I mean, Big K, I know I trained you. I broke you into this business. But come on, you got to learn. You don't want to taunt this man from San Monique. Believe me, I've been beat up by him. I've had stuff poured in my mouth. I've had snakes put on me. I've had fireballs thrown at me. This guy's got more stuff than Inspector Gadget to hit you with.
Yep.
But his strength and wildness is just uncanny. It's okay. Get your cardio in, and because you're gonna need it.
He may need it, but you know he's not going to need it to run. Because
No, I'm just saying to go with the guy. I'm not saying he's going to run.
Oh, yeah.
All my faith's in the guy. You know, he just needs to hang in there to show that he is tough.
he had an excellent outing. Wick and I called that match the time they met. And I've got to sit back and say this. Big K impressed me that night. He showed a ton of heart. He also, at the same time, showed no fear, but a ton of respect. You know that you have the mindset necessary when you respect your opponent. You're not afraid of your opponent, no matter what, and you'll go straight after him. He was prepared because, Mudbone is part of that vanguard in Global Championship Wrestling. They are the ultimate proving ground. People like Night Prowler, people like Mudbone, if you can register, keyword register, solid appearances against them, and you realize what you've done, you can go further and you can go far. But they are, I've seen many people hit that stumbling block against one of those two. Because if you're not ready, case point scenario, last time Night Prowler was, I think it was Gunn and Bone.
Are you speaking in tongues?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I thought Mudbone took over there for a minute.
Hey.
We need a translator.
I'm not hitting the Cavassier either. I've actually been sober for a month and a half, legitimately. But from there, Mudbone, like I said, is part of that vanguard. He fears no human. He fears no spirit. He fears no animal. He doesn't even fear immigration. Hell, what are you talking about? Hi, Donald Trump. Fact of the matter is, I'm really looking forward to this one because I know that Big K has learned some serious lessons in his previous outing against Bone. I want to see how he applies those lessons. I don't know what's going to happen. Mudbone could prevail. Big K could shock the world. And these two could probably fight all the way down Alabama State Highway 34, all the way to 231, all the way to 20. They would probably do that. Nothing's going to be safe Saturday night. Wick, your thoughts?
Well, I have to disagree with you. You said that Big K wasn't scared and showed no fear. I have to disagree with that. Standing across from Mudbone, I've had the honor of managing Mudbone, managing against Mudbone, and wrestling against Mudbone. And you have to be in a whole nother state to even prepare to be ready to take on Mudbone. Fear is the mind killer, and that's exactly what happened to Big K. He slipped up one time, and that's all Mudbone needed. He must not be that smart if he signed to wrestle Mudbone again, because Mudbone is kicking that ass. And the new Mudbone is the old Mudbone. Well, hello to the new boss, same as the old boss. Mudbone's back. He's re-energized, and God have mercy on the soul of Big K.
All right, we got one more. We got 2 minutes to talk about it. Eric Wayne, the Dream Killer, taking on the Bosnian War Child, Spiral.
The rematch.
I know. It's the first rematch. You know, Eric Wayne has been wrestling all over South Dakota, Tennessee, Mississippi, Georgia. And here we are. It's Spiral's time to wrestle. He had a strong outing against Logan Creed last month. I'm anxious to see what happens here. Dream Killer's got tricks up his sleeve, some that you've used before, fireballs and whatnots. I mean, what are your thoughts on this match? You got a dog in the fight, no pun intended.
I've actually got to interview Eric Wayne couple weeks ago, and I also got to share a locker room with Eric Wayne. And I told him, I respect you. I respect what you've done, but you're going to get that ass kicked. Spiral should not have taken that first match. Spiral was not 100%. Spiral's ankle was probably at about 75%. He's not going to tell you that. As his manager, I will. Spiral's ready. Eric Wayne is ready. This is a Clash of the Titans. This is what it's all about. It's about the GCW World Heavyweight Championship. And not only that, once again, this is personal. You throw a fireball in a man's face, you throw fire at us, we will drop napalm on you. And I told Eric, I said, you've got a good fireball. My fireball is better. I told him, he bust out that fireball. I always have one ready, as anybody in the state of Georgia will tell you over the last 3 months. I will burn your face off.
This is going to be a match that I'm going to legitimately put the title on. Don't blink. With the variance and the wide variety of the styles that Eric Wayne has faced in the last couple of months, and considering the fact that he does have the advantage over Spiral, Eric Wayne's got one major ace in the hole. Champion's advantage, something I've said for years here on GCW Radio and Beyond Ringside Sports Radio. Those two words mean the world in this industry. And what Spiral has to remember, what Wick has to remember, and I'm sure Wick does, Eric Wayne doesn't have to beat Spiral. Spiral has to pin or submit Eric Wayne. Coming into this Saturday night, I'll guarantee you, Eric Wayne will pull out every dirty trick in the book. Will Spiral be ready to match stride for stride? I don't know. I'm pretty sure he will. He'll try. But remember, Spiral has to pin or submit the champion to get that belt back. Will he?
Eddie,
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. All he has to worry about is in ring. All the dirty tactics, you leave that to the necessary evil. That's the great thing about having a manager that was one of the most hated guys in the Southeast. Sorry, everyone. You can all kiss my ass. That's the truth. I can do those dirty dicks, those dirty tactics, and those dirty deeds. We choose not to. Not to.
Did you say dirty dick?
Yes, he did, Dirty Dicks.
Dirty dicks. Dirty Dick Slater.
Dirty Dick Slater, exactly. Boy, God rest his soul.
Our favorite
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking about Murdoch, Dirty Dick Murdoch.
Him too? NASCAR's favorite.
Going cross-eyed. Wow. Too close at home.
Damn.
And without his glasses, you thought Robert Gibson had a bad eye. Imagine two of them.
Check, please.
Mate.
Folks, this Saturday night, I hope you're ready. All roads lead to Pell City, Alabama. The Pell City Civic Center. Saturday night, one too many S's in that sentence. July the 30th, you've heard the rundown. Michael Steele taking on Logan Creed, Brooklyn Page in his corner. Mudbone, the rematch with Big K Holmes. Dark Fury, one-on-one with Charles Anders. This match will have middleweight championship contender implications. The Dream Chaser, Dylan Cook versus Joey Lightning. This match will have implications in that middleweight division. The middleweight division is getting hotter by the second. Guaranteed. Now, I'm double-checking something, but the middleweight championship cutoff is what, 220?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. More variety there, kids. From that vantage point, the grudge match, it's time. Francisco Chiazzo has served his suspension. He may have bitched about it a little bit. He may have complained about it a little bit. He complained more about the check he had to write. He didn't like that worth a damn. Who cares? This Saturday night, the return of Francisco Chiazzo. The return of Clyde Braddock. Of course, he was there last month. I'm saying the return of violence in that ring. This ain't going to be a wrestling match. This is going to be a fight. I don't care who says what. GCW Ladies Division, Malaya Husaka taking on Stormy Lee Sloan. 6-man tag team match. I almost said, what are we, the NWA? Y'all the Road Warriors now? Dusty and...
Dirty Dicks.
There you go. Check, please. 6-man tag match. Mad Justice Leon the Bull Stresser, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and the return of the real deal AJ Steele versus the Brotherhood, JP McGregor, O'Hagan, and O'Malley. And, of course, main event, heavyweight championship, Eric Wayne, the Dream Killer, defending against the former champion, the Bosnian badass, Spiral. Wick, final thoughts?
Dirty dicks.
Watch it.
Wash it. Wash it. Wash it.
I wonder if that nickname would have applied to Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann's former favorite driver from NASCAR, Dirty Dick Trickle.
Dick Trickle.
Oh, geez.
That's what his name was, Dick Trickle. I'm not making this up.
Cole's brother, right?
There you go. We'll work on that. No, legitimately.
Hey, Red, White, and Bruised is going to have a whole new meaning come this Saturday for several people. And by the way, AJ Steele's given name is It's the Juggernaut, bitch!
Gotchas. Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, final thoughts on the show.
All right, Red, White, and Bruised this Saturday, July 30th, Pell City. Hey, listen, if you don't like wrestling, stay your ass at home. But if you really like wrestling, if you really like professional wrestling, the way it's supposed to be, come to Pell City this Saturday night, 7:30 start time. Tickets $10. It's the best wrestling independently. Just come see it. Thank you.
Remember, until Friday at noon, you can reserve, while they are available, ringside seats for this Saturday night's live event. GCW Media at yahoo.com. Don't send it on Twitter. Don't send it on the Facebook page. Don't send it on Instagram. Don't send it on Snapchat. Don't send it on Carrier Pigeon. Don't send it on Horseback. GCW Media at yahoo.com. Please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Biatches. Had to get mine in there for the night. I've been playing clean too long.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all can do it. So
with sugar on top, Mr. Wolf.
There you go.
Pretty pleased with sugar on top. Hey, gentlemen, thank you so much. I will see you this Saturday. Good luck. Hey, tomorrow night, to be determined, parental guidance is suggested. Not just suggested. You better listen.
No kidding.
Because it's there. To be determined, the straightest shooting show in the world with professional wrestling tomorrow night. Make sure you join these guys and all the shows on Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Mad Dog, always a pleasure, brother. We'll have a great rest of the night. We'll talk to you soon.
I tell Richard I said good night and to take a shower. Appreciate it.
Go. Take care, man. Folks, real quick, at GCW Pro Wrestling on Twitter, Facebook.com/GCW Pro Wrestling. Actually, we've got 4 freaking Facebook fan pages. Thank you, Facebook, for screwing up the world. From that vantage point, we are on Instagram, GCW Pro Wrestling. Gee, what a surprise. Now, we are not yet on Snapchat. Once again, the director of new media set up the geofilter to be used this coming Saturday night. It will be exclusive to the Pell City Civic Center, the main complex area. So like I said, if you're on Snapchat, love to see you use a filter. Save it, download it, turn it around, put it on your Instagram and your Facebook. Let us know that you used it. We greatly appreciate it if you do. Wick, go ahead and throw the shameless plugs. Wick? I'll go ahead and do it for him. At Wicked Nemesis on Twitter. Also from that vantage point, the To Be Determined show will go live tomorrow night. That'll be the 27th of July. Start time is 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Back to Basics kicks off in about 9 minutes from right now. Remember, keep your eyes open on GCWPro.com and all of our social media sites. Folks, thank you for listening. We genuinely hope to see you coming this Saturday night. Pell City, Red, White, and Bruised. It's going to be a blast. For Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, for the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, who finally found his mute button. Then again, maybe not. I'm the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Lane saying thank you for joining us, and join us next time as we go ringside and beyond with Global Championship Wrestling.